children's books read aloud. Please subscribe and like and share our videos. Thanks for watching.
Rainbow Magic. Gabby the Bubblegum Fairy by Daisy Meadows. Chapter 5. A Barrel of Gum. The fairies flew into the testing room. They saw little tables filled with brightly coloured bubblegum, comfortable chairs and plenty of whiteboards where testers could write notes about the gum. But there were no goblins. "Over there," said Kirsty, spotting another open door. The sign on the door said, "Gum Making Room." As they flew towards it, Rachel spotted one of the Candyland Helping Hands bags on a table. It was filled with bubblegum, and it had Olivia's name on it. "Oh no," Rachel said with a groan. "Olivia's going to win a prize, but it won't be any good unless we can get the magical bubblegum back." "Don't worry," said Kirsty in a determined voice. "That's exactly what we're going to do." They flew through the doorway into a noisy warehouse filled with clanking, hissing machines. A maze of conveyor belts circled the room. Some carried piles of bubblegum and tipped it into chutes, which led to packaging machines. Others carried packets of bubblegum to large Candyland boxes. The goblins were capering on one of the conveyor belts, trampling on the gum. The droopy-eared goblin was throwing handfuls of bubblegum around like confetti. Another was kicking it into the air. They were cackling and squawking with the fun of mischief. "We have to stop them," said Gabby with a groan. "They're going to spoil all the bubblegum unless I can get my magical sweet back." Suddenly, Kirsty noticed a big barrel of warm bubblegum mixture standing near one of the conveyor belts. The thick, sticky goo was waiting to be cooled and shaped into rectangles. "Gabby, I've got an idea," she said. "Can you use your magic to move that barrel and reverse the conveyor belt?" Gabby's eyes twinkled when she understood Kirsty's plan, and she nodded. Her wand flicked up and down like a conductor's baton, and then the barrel began to scrape across the floor. The bubblegum goo sloshed as the barrel bumped against the end of the conveyor belt. Then Gabby tapped her wand against the side of the conveyor belt, and it juddered to a stop. "What's wrong with it?" squawked the droopy-eared goblin. "Stupid thing!" Clank! The machinery went into reverse, and the conveyor belt sent the goblins whizzing back towards the barrel. One after another, they plopped into the pink mixture. They wriggled and jiggled, but it was no use. They were well and truly stuck. "I can't move!" wailed the droopy-eared goblin. "Get me out of here!" shouted another. Rachel, Kirsty and Gabby fluttered over to the barrel and perched on the rim. "Gabby will get you out," said Kirsty, "but only after you return her magical bubblegum." "No way," the goblins grumbled. "We're not doing anything you say. Silly fairies." They tried clambering over each other to get out, and they tried pushing each other out. Nothing worked. The fairies simply waited and watched. Eventually, the goblins started to whisper to each other. At first, some of them shook their heads, but eventually they were all nodding. Every single one of them looked miserable. "Jack Frost's going to go purple," the smallest goblin muttered. "I don't like it when he gets cross." Well, I don't like being stuck in a barrel, said the goblin with the droopy ears. The fun's over. He managed to squirm through the goo and held his hand up in the air. He was holding Gabby's magic bubblegum. A smile lit up Gabby's face as she took the bubblegum in her delicate fingers. It shrank to fairy size at once, and she waved her wand and spoke the words of a spell. Return these goblins to the floor. They won't cause trouble anymore. Clean them up and give them gum, to keep them all from feeling glum. The goblins found themselves standing beside the barrel, as clean as before they fell in. Each of them was holding a packet of bubblegum. Big grins started to spread across all of their faces. Come on, let's go back to the playground, said the goblin with droopy ears. I'll show you the biggest bubble ever. Rubbish, the smallest goblin retorted. Your bubble will look like a wrinkly raisin compared to mine. I'm the best, and my bubble will be too. Squabbling loudly, the goblins ran out of the room.